What's good, Star Focus? Your boy Dave B. We're back with a DaeStar report. Today's April 5th. It's the Numerology 8. You know what I'm saying? The moon in Pisces. Let's jump right in. So now with the moon in Pisces, we're reacting and responding to dreams, imagination, faith, belief. We really need to apply that to ourselves. We need to believe in ourselves right now. You know, moon in Pisces, that's the world we're all in, what we're all reacting and responding to. And it can go two ways. Either you go in that imaginary, beautiful creativity route, or you go towards the route of being lost into illusion. So either there could be many different ways this plays out. There could be a opportunity for you, especially before we get to the new moon, to actually choose to believe in yourself, choose to have faith in your own individuality and your ability to achieve success in that area, or whatever it is that you're choosing to pursue, right? As a goal or a passion or a mission, right? Moon is going to be conjunct Mars. So again, connecting to that passion, connecting to also Saturn. So, you know, coming to grips with the reality of the situation, right? Even if it does take a certain investment from you, you know, no matter what it is, it's like kind of depending on how you choose to, you know, utilize your faith in that area, right? But just as easy, or not necessarily easy, but just like it can go that way, it can just as well go the other way, which is creating illusions, either illusions of grandeur. Maybe you overestimate your abilities at the moment. You know, you have to be aware of that too. But that's where kind of the sun interacting with Chiron has to kick in, where we have to really be real with ourselves, look at past mistakes, look at where we may have overshot things previously, and then look at what we're actually aiming at in this time, in this present moment, right? But not let it deter you from still taking a chance on yourself. You know, regardless, things are going to have to move forward, especially after the new moon. Things got to go forward. So you got to choose what step you want to take, right? Now, the number 8, the numerology being 8, has a lot to do with time. You know, it's the feminine aspect after we've received the messages, right? So the previous energies were giving us all the information we needed basically to decide for ourselves, okay, is this the right move for me, right? And now if you're going to move in that direction, and like I said before, you got to move. Doesn't really matter. It's like there's no stagnant energy in Aries season. You got to get up and move. Even if you choose to resist where you got to go, then you're going to be dragged by your feet, basically, where things are going to be moving around you. You can sit there with your arm crossed all you want, but life is still going to move on, and you're going to see that you might have chose not to move based upon you not wanting to make another mistake, being afraid of making another mistake. But that's actually the biggest mistake you can make, to drag your feet. You know what I'm saying? On some level, we have to surrender, and part of, you know, that's all part of this year too, you know. So why not choose to walk the path? You know, why not choose to take the steps and do what it takes, and choose to believe in yourself, choose to have faith that you actually can see that through. On the other end of it, though, like I was saying before, it could be delusions of grandeur, you overshooting it, or it could be, you know, getting lost into an illusion of self-doubt. So you taking that same energy that could be creative and beautifully motivating you to actually achieve success, you could have just as equally the negative side of that, where, you know, with every thing that comes as an opportunity, you find something to pick at it, and, you know, your mood will attach to, again, all those negative things that you see as a potential when you didn't even take a step in the experience yet, you know. And that's a form of how, you know, because Pisces is still Jupiterian. So similar to Sagittarius energy being the escapist, you know, always into, or every now and then wanting to escape a jail cell. Pisces do the same thing, but just on an emotional level. So due to not wanting to feel a certain way that hasn't even manifested itself in reality, they choose to act out in a way to avoid that, when, you know, that a lot of times ends up being self-sabotaging, counterproductive, and makes them look like they belong in a straitjacket. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing to do at this time really is to, you know, be patient with yourself, but, you know, choose to have faith. It's your choice. You could choose to believe in yourself, and, you know, you'll be surprised what might manifest from that, you know. And again, this is very important because this is the energy that we are basically setting ourselves up with as the new moon hits. And when the new moon hits, again, it's going to be a forward motion, a push in a sense, right? Not to say there's some magical force that's going to make you feel like going forward, this should already be something that you're coming to the conclusion to, or coming to the conclusion with in your own space, especially if you've been actually planting the right seeds at the moment. You know, you've been taking your time with things, like I was saying in the previous transits, taking your individuality seriously, because that's really what it's all about as well. It's like, do you really believe in yourself at this time? Like, do you really believe in yourself? Do you really have faith? And if you don't, you know, that's where some of the inner conflict comes in. And that could, you know, everyone finds their way, right? But if you want to really take advantage of this energy, the best thing you could do for yourself is just choose to have that faith in yourself that, hey, I believe in who I am as an individual, therefore that's what I'm going to present. Now, the moon is also going to be sextiling the energies in Taurus, which we have Uranus and we have Jupiter, right? So moon sextiling Jupiter, the actual opportunity to feel more connected with your experience and apply wisdom that comes from a realistic place to what is your dream, you know, to your dream, which is, you know, something that goes beyond logic and can go beyond reality in at times, right? So this is how we actually have an opportunity to create more balance in reality, you know, based upon us able to feel connected. Now, that's the thing. You have to understand what these things are actually for. Dreams and imaginations are for motivation, right? Spiritual motivation. They help you get up out the bed. They help you go to what you need to go to in order to get to the next step. Faith is something that is used almost as protection to help you through something, a certain time period in which you may not see that thing that you're striving for right in front of you. And again, this being a year 8, a lot of this energy is very important. We need to keep it. And again, this is a numerology day 8. So what a perfect time to start to really connect to the themes of this year before we actually enter the new moon, right? And this will be the perfect setup, because once the new moon hits, this faith in yourself that you've been cultivating can now be birthed. But see, just as the positive side of this can be birthed, you could very well birth the negative end, right? Now, it'll be the new moon, so it's a clean slate for everybody. But, you know, think about it. I like to use the analogy of like track runners coming out of blocks. If you don't know what blocks are, at the beginning of a race, there are these things that, you know, you could prop your feet up and basically they give a runner an extra push off the start, right? If you don't, you're just coming off the ground. So the motion is to go up and then forward. Where you come out of blocks, you're just going forward, right? So it's a bit of a head start, right? More professional runners use them because that's their head start, right? Now, if you want, you know, to take the slower route, that'll be you choosing to use faith and imagination for the wrong things, believing that you might not be successful in that area, lacking faith, adding more self-doubt to the recipe. That's going to result into a new moon experience that you might be a little sluggish to get the ball rolling. When, you know, if you choose to use this time to really get yourself in the mode, choose to believe in yourself, you can come out the gate running. When the gun goes off, when the green light hits, you're off. You're already 10 steps ahead, right? Just simply by doing a little bit of, you know, necessary shadow work. Right now is a good time. Really, it's an energy you want to make sure you're seeing yourself, right? And you're seeing these things that have been holding you back, right? You can acknowledge these things in your subconscious. This is Pisces, we're dealing with the subconscious. So with the combination even of the moon being in Pisces and the sun being in Aries, this is actually a powerful combination, because whatever it is that, let's say, there are some things in your subconscious that that don't quite coincide with the path that you want to walk, or don't look like the thing you're trying to bring towards yourself. Aries energy is key for what? Initiating and creating a new way of seeing and feeling. It's a feeler. So it can, on a lot of ways, connect with the Pisces and help the Pisces in that sense of, hey, you don't like to feel like that? Let's spark a new idea. Let's go in that direction instead. That's how we can use the sun's energy, right, along with the moon. The moon is giving us information on what we want, what we desire on that dreamlike scale, right? Things that seem larger than life. Aries is here to say, oh, well, if that's where we want to go, why don't we put our sights on something that looks like that? And that's how you can utilize this energy to help you. It's also a Venus day. I forgot to say that in the beginning. Venus just moved into Aries. So again, valuing yourself, valuing individuality. Not so much, it's self-love, but not so much in the sense of, how we usually talk about self-love. This is really a love for your own individuality. Moon sextiling Uranus is also an indicator of that need to connect to your own individual sense of what's real. All right, so let's keep on moving forward. Much love, and I'll catch you on the next one.